What is going on, Warriors? So today I want to talk about something interesting that I've seen happening over the course of 3 years. Social media is essentially trying to cancel intermittent fasting. Now, there are issues with the totality of the word fasting, right? Where people do prolonged fasting for very, very long periods of time, for months at a time. But the problem with that prolonged fasting and intermittent fasting is that they're completely two different things. There's not many studies on prolonged fasting that exist. There are a plethora, over hundreds of thousands of studies since the 1960s on intermittent fasting. Now, intermittent fasting has been seen to be, through the studies, even when comparing it to calorie restriction, to be bare minimum, if you're looking at the studies, no difference. And when seen to be no different, which of course, some studies use different criterias and rigor, but there are inherent benefits to intermittent fasting. But even if we looked at the worst common, study, right? No different in the sense of health, in the sense of being able to follow the diet, in how the weight is lost, how much weight is lost, etc. No different. But for some reason, just because of the word fasting, and also shown to be as safe as just doing normal caloric restriction, but because it has the word fasting attached to it, they use that as a carpet bomb statement for all fasting criteria. But intermittent fasting is literally in its own category. This is one of the reasons why it's so easy for somebody to try to muddy the waters when it comes to intermittent fasting. It's very easy because all they got to do is pick a regimen that doesn't work that well, like the 5-2, which has shown to have the most poor results when it comes to intermittent fasting. But they'll talk about the 5-2, and what will they title the study, or what will they title the article or the video? Intermittent fasting doesn't work. This study proves it. But it's a study of the 5-2 diet. What about the most popular usage of intermittent fasting, which is the 16-hour fast with the 8-hour eating? Why don't you talk about the one that's being used the most as opposed to the one that's being used more sparingly than the most popular one? Wouldn't it be more useful to the public to talk about the 16-8? Now, if you look at the 16-8, they've done studies on the 16-8, and the 16-8 usually comes out with a very positive outcome for the user. But I digress. I wanted to talk about this because back in 2020, I started to see this shift with social media. And it started with the whole TikTok basically banning intermittent fasting. And we'll take a look at it real quick. Let's go ahead and take a look at it real quick. Here you see around September 23rd, 2020, TikTok bans ads for fasting apps and restrict those promoting negative body image. This is when the pendulum swings too far to the right. Now, what is TikTok trying to do here? Oh, okay, I get that TikTok has a younger audience, tends to have a younger audience. But here's some key points. TikTok says it will ban advertisement for fasting apps and weight loss supplements, and is restricting ads that promote a harmful and negative body image. Such ads have become commonplace on a platform that has a substantial young audience. These types of ads do not support the positive, inclusive, and safe experience we strive for on TikTok, the company said in a statement. So basically, what TikTok was doing back in 2020, it had a ripple effect on all social media. If you notice, a lot of intermittent fasting content has been suppressed. And one place you could point at is this channel in and of itself. This channel in 2020, in 2019, we were going to the moon essentially in terms of subscribers and viewership and how aggressive we were building the channel. In 2020, that all went in reverse. Now, I do understand that COVID happened, and that was a big shift for anybody in fitness, because people weren't caring so much about fitness. People were caring more about information regarding what's going to happen next, right? But there was still a stable balance there. It was around September, October that there were steep declines in those who talked about intermittent fasting. And the problem that comes with fasting and banning fasting is that they put every single thing in the same bucket. Even though intermittent fasting has been shown to be as safe and as effective, bare minimum, and in other instances better, right, where it targets body fat, but bare minimum as safe and as effective as caloric restriction. And they're saying that they don't want anything that promotes a harmful and negative body image. So basically what they're saying is they want intuitive eating, because any other form of weight control could be deemed to be some sort of eating disorder, positive towards eating disorder. Any weight loss. If, let's say, you don't do intermittent fasting and all you do is eat, 3 times a day or whatever, but you're still losing weight, and the way you do it is by counting calories, that can be viewed as an eating disorder. The fact that you're eating at a net negative energy, you're keeping yourself at a net negative energy balance to lose weight, could be viewed as an eating disorder, because you're focusing on the food, you're paying attention to the food, and you're making sure that it is at a low calorie, or a calorie that will put you at a deficit. That could be viewed as an eating disorder. And then there comes the problem with intuitive eating. This is the intuitive eating push that has coincided with the body positivity push. Because of the body positivity push, a lot of things that make anyone have agency to lose weight has been chastised and given a negative connotation, especially intermittent fasting, simply because it has the word fasting in it. And since this time frame, on Facebook, on YouTube, on all the different websites, intermittent fasting recommendations have plummeted. Just think about your viewership here. You're currently watching this video. How did you find this video? If you're subscribed and you've hit the notification bell and you've hit all notifications, why did you have to find this video organically, where you made a choice to select the video, but they didn't serve the video to you? Because there's a lot of you guys who come in and are subscribed and hit the notification bell, but never get notified. You'll still find the video somewhere. It might land in your home screen or something, but you wouldn't be notified directly. But that wasn't the case back in 2019. Everybody was getting their video sent to them, or a large majority of people were getting the video sent to them. But that's not happening anymore, because there's a stigma that's being attached to intermittent fasting, and there's a uplifting that's happening with intuitive eating. But the problem with intuitive eating is that it scores the worst in terms of weight loss. Out of 478 diets that were tested, intuitive eating was the worst, like last for weight loss. Because it's hard to lose weight when you're not managing to some degree, when you're not creating some sort of agency. My ask is that people please stop umbrella terming fasting to anything that has anything to do with fasting. Because somebody fasting for 8 months is not the same as somebody fasting for 16 hours in the day. But that's being put all in one thing. Oh, fasting is fasting, and we don't want it on TikTok because poor body image stuff, and we don't want it on, YouTube is not gonna cancel it, but they sure as heck is gonna suppress it. They sure as heck are going to suppress it. So basically this video is because it never stopped me from making videos. I still continue to make videos because whoever finds it will still gain value from the video. The fact that you're watching this video, you're still gaining value from it. And that's enough for me, right? That's enough for me to know that I'm helping. I'm still out here helping and talking about intermittent fasting and talking about the studies with intermittent fasting, because that's super important. It's letting people know that they are wrong about it. They're wrong. It's not unhealthy. On the contrary, it's healthy. It's not unsustainable. On the contrary, it's sustainable. It gives people an option that when all else has failed, if you're suppressing it and taking it away from them, they don't ever get to know how to do it correctly or what to do or even know about it. So it's an important counterbalance to all the things that are out there for weight loss. And I am always going to say that, sure, intuitive eating is the best for mental health, but it is the worst for weight loss. And if you are actually trying to lose weight for health reasons, which is the case for a lot of people, that health reasons is part of it. It's not just body image. You need something that provides agency. Intuitive eating does not provide that. It doesn't. But that's what these social media apps are trying to push. So hopefully this video was informative, right? Enlightening. I've gotten a lot of people say, this doesn't make sense, man. You used to have 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 views, a million videos with millions of views. Yeah. From 2019, once we hit 2020, things started to change. But again, it doesn't really, it's something that I would hope would be fixed, obviously, and people would see intermittent fasting for what it is, an option, a healthy option based on all studies that we've seen. And then more people can be given this information. But as long as I have the platform to be able to talk to you guys, regardless, I'm going to do that. So hit the like button, hit the share button, share this video, hit the subscribe if you haven't, so more people can be aware of this. This is kind of a way to manipulate people to think that something is not being talked about anymore, when in reality, it is being talked about. So hitting the share button, sharing it, sharing it into your Facebook groups and all that stuff, it helps tremendously, because it organically moves the video. It doesn't rely on YouTube just to move the video. It organically moves it. So, and that definitely 100% helps. All right, guys. Anyways, until the next one, peace out.